We all experience how our old stories can rise up unexpectedly and throw us off track and unleash challenging emotions that triggers us without warning. And how we all have certain triggering events that can launch us into these old stories, old memories from the past, leading us down an Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of past guilt, sometimes shame, and limiting false beliefs. But what if you could use those triggers that sneak up on us in those moments in your life to turn them into divine gifts that lead to healing transformation? Gifts that allow you to shift into new levels of growth and personal power. Many of you responded to my email this week, sharing with me times when you get triggered, like when others don't listen, when you know how it should be done. Then it doesn't turn out because they didn't listen to you. I get it. Also, when people are crazy drivers, they speed or cut you off. Can definitely be a trigger. Another submit was when your partner appears to be listening, but they really aren't, and they haven't heard a thing you said. That is a trigger for you. Then there was another example of getting annoyed with themselves for not doing it differently, or annoyed and triggered that their past decisions were not what they would make now, that they should have done it differently. And another one, they get triggered when they must wait for others. I'm sure many of you can give additional examples. Do it. Put it in the chat. What type of situations trigger you, annoy you, upset you? I want to share with you 3 key perspective shifts you can make that will allow you to tap into a sense of calm and empowerment when those triggering moments come your way, because they do. First, give yourself some grace. Many times when you have a triggering moment, circumstance, or interaction, that unleashes old, icky stories, right? Limiting stories, stories of the past. We tend to make it worse by thinking we shouldn't be triggered or annoyed that we feel a certain way, as if the mere fact we've been triggered is somehow our fault or that we've done something wrong, when in fact, the trigger of emotions are a special gift that allow us to feel through situations so we can grow. But first, you must allow yourself to be at peace when you are triggered, to be able to allow a different perspective. Giving yourself permission to be in ease in those moments and allow yourself the grace for moving through them when they come. Ask yourself in the moment, what is the trigger really showing me? How can I shift in this situation? This will bring in an awareness. It will allow the subconscious to begin to see new ways to view this situation, this feeling. Number 2, right behind giving yourself grace, I encourage you to embrace emotional triggers with an inviting mind. Look at these unexpected guests as friends who are arriving to remind you where you've been in the past. But they do not have to be your future, nor should they. Let them bless you with a temporary sense of divine déjà vu and allow yourself to feel the old story that is triggered from a perspective of been there and done that. Just something from the past, right? That's all it is, which means you do not have to repeat it again moving forward. You can choose differently the next time. 3, yet let yourself look at these temporary triggering experiences as the gateway to elevating your personal growth. For an opportunity to give yourself a boost in the right direction of crafting your new story. This way, every time you have a triggering moment, you'll feel a grin of gratitude flash across your face because you now are triggering the divine creator inside of yourself rather than the broken record stories of the past. For example, if you are triggered when you think of a childhood memory, how can you find the positive in it? What is it showing you that you are supposed to do, right? Maybe you, from these experiences, can be an advocate for other children or people that are in the same situation or have been through it. How can you feel empowered to help others because of the current triggers you are experiencing? I'll give you an example of myself. I used to be triggered in a childhood memory of an experience of not being able to speak about my spiritual gifts. It really held me back in my life as like those experiences of childhood, teenage years, my 20s, held me back because those things filtered in to other areas of my life that I didn't feel the ability or I didn't feel I had permission to speak up. That wasn't the truth. It's how it's how I took the perspective, right? I turned it around. I now speak up. I now own my spiritual gifts. I allow them to be experienced and to teach other people how to do the same. Now I empower that in someone, right? I empower those things that used to hold me back in a triggered old story and feelings. Now I educate, teach, and empower others. So what is an old experience? How can that be flipped to the present tense to be empowering and positive? There are ways. To help these new perspectives sink and settle deeper into your mind, heart, and spirit, I wanted to walk you through another empowering visualization to help anchor the belief that these triggering emotions can have a positive effect in our life as we choose to embrace them differently. So if you're ready, let's begin. I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to cover my screen because I don't want you watching me. I want you in your head, closing your eyes. All right, so here we go. Let's begin. With your eyes closed and your feet on the ground, take a deep breath, filling your lungs to capacity. And on the exhale, just let it all out with a big exhale breath. Take another deep breath, filling your lungs to capacity, and hold. And on the exhale, allowing it to release from all the tissues and the fibers of your body. One last breath. Filling your lungs to capacity and carrying the breath up further into your head, activating the right and left hemisphere of the brain, activating the cells of your body. And on the exhale, you find the center of the interior of the body. You find a comfortable resting position. There you go. And you return your breath to a normal, comfortable breath. As I count from 3, 2, 1. 3. The sounds around you will allow you to go deeper, relaxed. 2. Deeper relaxed, allowing expansion in serving your highest good. And 1. You sense, feel, and imagine that you are sitting in the middle of a vast, gentle field of flowing grass and wildflowers, a summer field with summer smells and a temperature absolutely perfect for your skin and body type. You feel a deep sense of calmness and tranquility as every muscle in your body begins to relax. This is your field of limitless flow. You feel at home. You feel certain. You feel empowerment. Seemingly out of nowhere, you hear your name being yelled out on the right side of your body. Their loud voice shocks your system and instantly pulls you out of your blissful state. As you turn to see someone from the past who triggers an old icky memory from high school, that feeling of being misunderstood and judged, and the story of not being valued or seen for who you are goes right along with it as a feeling. They walk right by you, not saying a single word. Interesting. So you close your eyes and refocus, trying to return to your bliss. Then, on your left, you hear another loud yell, another trigger from your past to surface. Nope, but you press on, doing your best to ignore their yelling. You return to centeredness. Suddenly you hear 3 loud yells. This one directly in front of you. Yes, this person is standing there, represents your oldest story of fear, scarcity, and lack of self-worth, which causes you to hold yourself back in life. I know. It seems all of the piece of your field has left you. But you're determined, bringing your focus back to your breath, as it naturally activates your higher self. You feel a need to, oh so gently, rub your eyes, as if you needed to clear your vision. Once you do, open your eyes and take a closer look at each of the 3 people who yelled and supposedly shattered your silence. You see differently now as your eyes focus. You see that they all represent an old version of you. Realizing that each of them wasn't yelling to distract, annoy, or trigger negative emotions. They were yelling to invite you to leave your old stories behind and create your future from within your field of limitless flow of where you are now. They weren't yelling from anger, frustration, or guilt. They were yelling with fearless joy for the opportunity in front of you, the opportunity to take any moment that attempts to break you away from the fact that you are called to craft an abundant future of your own design. Reminding you that no matter what trigger may occur, it provides you a space to heal and find the wisdom and growth from the past, to let go and start fresh. Feel the smile taking place. It's happening from this realization. As you stand up, you extend your hands outward to all three versions of your previous self. As you look at each of these three people from the past, you see them realizing that they were in your life for a reason. You nod your head in gratitude for their presence as you begin to feel an overflow of gratitude. Now you feel and see that any trigger from the past is a gateway to your limitless future. You control your story. You can return to your field of limitless possibilities at any time. You always have the ability to update the old story and flip the negative trigger to the positive. It is in your divine right to create positive experiences in your life. Now, bringing your awareness back to your breath, I will count from 1 to 3, and you will come back to the space you were originally in, alert and present. 1, bringing your awareness back to your body. 2, activating the cells in your body with a new integrated truth. 3, eyes wide open as you are now fully owning your truth and authenticity of positive change and empowering behavior. How'd you do? Well, my desire is for you to have a new experience with old stories, to have a new experience in rewriting old triggers, old annoyances, to find the positive. You don't have to be held back. You don't have to stay living in guilt because of things that you didn't do in the past that you wish you had done. We all have those experiences. We all wish we could go back on some level. But it's the wisdom gained. It's who you are now, for you are not the same person. And it's a time to let go of the old, to own who you are now. So I invite you to pause in your triggers. Take a look at what they are and ask yourself, what am I being invited to really see here? And let me know, because I'd love to respond. Sending you off in lots of love. I'll come in and respond.